I'm assuming we got the same number one in the finals MVP. You
Yeah,
know
yeah, I do
All
too.
right. Yep.
Lead the league in points per game, ridiculously efficient. Been All NBA, been first team All NBA these past 3 years.
Yep.
Um, Good defensive player, not necessarily like a huge defensive role, but one of the best primary initiators I've ever seen. Just one of my favorite players to watch. Probably my favorite player to watch, not on the Sixers.
Mm, yeah. Obviously MVP and Finals MVP speaks for itself. Two incredibly prestigious awards, and he won it in one season. That's not easy to do. He's one of them ones, man. And obviously, you know, they're probably not there in the finals without him. Um, so yeah, like I also wanted to bring up, OKC is number one in offensive rating, and I think he's a big part of that. His assist percentage is 30.8%, which is, almost a third of the OKC Thunder's total assists. And his defensive rating is low at 105.3. I think that's according to the NBA site, if I'm not mistaken, but I have to double check. So yeah,
Yeah, his defensive metrics are funny because I think like dunks and threes has his defensive EPM, which like tries to adjust for like your context in the 99th percentile, which means he's one of the
Mm.
best defensive players in the NBA.
Yeah,
I don't really think that's true because
I
I think his
agree.
role is like as a helper is much easier than like a point of attack guy or like an anchor big or something like that. But I don't know. As he's as good as you get in his role probably, but I know people are trying to go bad on him in the playoffs, but he's still a ridiculously good defender, especially at generating blocks and steals, which I think is kind of underrated. Like, I don't know. I think the pendulum swung too far. Like for a while, people were like, "Oh, steals don't make you a good defender," because like that was a stat people looked at and like, yes, just getting steals doesn't make you a good defender. But I think it went like too far to the point where now people are like, "Oh, it's like steals don't matter at all." But no, they do matter.
Yeah,
You're
they
taking a
do. Yeah.
possession away from the other team, and like usually when you take a possession away from the other team, it's a lot like on the steal, it's going to be a live ball, and you are probably going to get a transition look, which is the most important form, like the most efficient form of offense. So steals are like very important. He generates those.
Yeah, to add to your point, I feel like in this current age, I know we talked about it a little bit before the pod, but I feel like defense is, probably the most important it's ever been uh in this era. And I think this finals has proven like if you're a defensive liability, you're gonna get exposed. And you got to figure out ways to adjust to that,